Hi, if you're new here, I'm Kylie, just another Army vet, and today I'm reacting to another video from the Ministry of Defense of Singapore. This is Every Singaporean Son Season 2, Making of an Officer, which was published back in 2012. This is episodes 1, 2, and 3. Let's get to it. So I'm pretty sure that once the selected trainees finish basic training, they're then actually sent to OCS. And basic training was covered in Every Singaporean Son episode 3, which I reacted to months ago. And it was a really good series. And I'll leave a link for that down below. And I'll also leave a link in the end screen as well.
Take care of your own health. Don't get yourself injured. Protect yourself.
Don't force yourself to do the thing that you cannot do.
I think they will make us do that pretty often.
I disagree with what he just said. Don't force yourself to do the thing that you cannot do. Well, that's kind of the whole purpose of going to basic training or OCS. You're going to be forced to do the things that you think you can't do, but you actually can.
But there's a limit, right?
But there's a limit and there's a breaking point.
You know, it's a big step you're going to take. It's a big step. BMT is just a start phase. You will realize that you are going to assume command of a lot of people. Maybe now you don't realize it.
Good morning to you. My name is Lieutenant Colonel Muhammad Ramizan. On behalf of Commander OCS, Colonel Chua Boon Kiat, we welcome you to OCS, the premier institution.
Rather than counting, if somebody were to carry his bag, he could be here in 3 seconds. Before you point at someone else and ask them to do the things for you, you do it yourself. 1, 2, 3, understand or not? Yes, sir! Rather than give someone a timing, you carry his stuff yourself. Is that clear? Yes, sir!
Standards down here must be met. I won't jeopardize standards for any other things. If you don't meet the cut, then I'm sorry. You're not supposed to be here.
Paulette.
Remember this parade square? Because in 38 weeks, you will come back here to be commissioned as the SF officer.
38 weeks.
If you leave OCS with only that in your mind, taking away that, I know how to shoot well. I know how to get all these badges. I can get I-50 gold. I understand how to attack, I understand how to defend. If that's the only thing you take away from here, then you're wasting your time, I tell you honestly. You are wasting your time here. This is a character building school, this is a leadership school. You don't take anything away from leadership, then you're not supposed to be here.
Well said. They went to BMT to learn how to be a soldier, yet OCS is about developing character and leadership.
Upon reaching the first few steps of the tower run, see the Madagascar lions, it was truly impressive. And as I climbed out each step of the way, I just thought, wow, each step represents a day in OCS.
You know the significance?
You do 6-5 days.
Now you'll be 265 days. Next thing you know, you'll be 265 hours. 265 minutes. And then next thing you know, 265 seconds to commissioning. Understand or not?
Yes, sir!
Okay.
I didn't expect it to be that high, but at the end point, you know what, it was very windy, it was very worth it, the scenic view, and it was great.
Okay, this part here represents our nation and what we want to defend. Understand?
What do you see here?
Outfield.
Your training. This is to symbolize that you are training. Training to develop yourselves to become future leaders for the defense of Singapore. What is this? What is that? And now we look there. What do you see there? Factories, industries, economy. You combine all these three. That is what is required of you.
A lot of things actually went through my mind. You know, we are defending our country, and we are also looking at the parade square, where we are hopefully going to commission in 9 months. We knew that there was something greater to achieve at the end of OCS, and it was not just going through a lot of tough challenges, but there's some reward that we will get at the end of everything.
You guys will become future leaders. Leaders whose families who entrusted their kids to you guys, regardless of where you go. You will still be responsible for the management of these people and also for the defense of Singapore. Okay?
Good NCOs and officers make sure the mission gets accomplished, but they also make sure that the well-being of their troops is also taken care of.
Officer Cadets of Bravo Wing, do you take up the challenge of training at OCS?
Never hesitate when you're doing something like that. If you hesitate, that's when things actually get dangerous.
The past few days, I did feel a bit depressed and discouraged, and the journey hasn't been easy for me to find my purpose and affirm myself that I can be a confident leader as well.
During the past 2 weeks, I've learned to actually compromise. To be a leader, you have to learn to follow as well. So that's probably my role right now.
I wonder how high that is.
Show us then. Remove your one guard pillar, don your two guard pillar, and henceforth hang as officer cadets of Officer Cadet School.
In the days to come, it's definitely not going to be an easy journey. It's only going to get tougher. But tough times don't last. Only tough men do. I want to ensure that I don't leave any regrets, and that I will only become a better leader and a better person and a better son to my family.
Courage! Honor! Integrity! Bravo!
Some sort of anti-tank weapon. Claymore.
For the past 1 week, we have been having a lot of technical handling tests. That includes the SAW, the M203, and of course the Matador.
The M203 is a grenade launcher, which is actually an attachment to the existing SAR-21 rifle that we have. Basically,
That is the same what the US actually uses.
It acts like the hand grenade that we normally throw.
And a Matador is actually an anti-tank weapon.
So fun fact, the Matador is actually an anti-tank weapon developed by Germany, Singapore, and Israel.
For the past 2 days, I've been doing my GPMG technical handling test.
This is actually a very powerful weapon. It's actually used for suppressive fire. It is very good for platoon assault.
Gunner, strip MG.
MG.
Come.
27 seconds. Gunner, strip MG.
I want to say that's similar to a SAW 249 that the US military uses. But I'm not sure though.
After doing the test, I feel more confident in handling the weapons.
I believe that I did fairly well. I just missed the timing by a couple of seconds, which I think can be better by practice.
It becomes muscle memory. The more you do it, the easier it becomes, and the faster you can do it. It just takes practice.
This is the bottom right, this is the ground right. Aim half.
Yes, sir.
Silence! Half left! 100 meter!
100 meter.
Enemy behind window!
Enemy behind window.
DPT round, load!
No sand, no den. Load and ready.
A1 fire. A1 good shot. A1 fire. Fire.
Looks like fun.
The Matador we use today is actually a sub-caliber weapon, so the main purpose is for us to actually have a feel of what the real weapon actually feels like.
So like dummy rounds, I guess.
No sand, no den. Very clear.
US military also uses
Sub-caliber loaded.
stuff like that.
300 meters, stationary tank.
On!
Too low. Captain, unload sub caliber.
It was fun, it's overall it's okay, but we still hope that we get a chance to fire in future because we want to see how this thing actually explodes,
Next, I will introduce you guys SAF TNT. So
TNT.
have you all have a vision of how a TNT looks like? How does the TNT look like? Okay, so this is how it looks like.
But the demolition live firing was really awesome. I get the opportunity to set up the claymore and actually ignite it, by myself.
So I'm not sure how long claymores have actually been around for, but they've been around since at least the Vietnam War. If you actually know when it first came out, then please drop that in the comments.
We get to see other explosives as well. We get to see the side charge, the double junction box.
When I went to basic training, I also learned about the claymore as well.
This is the real claymore, no longer the dummy, and I know that if something goes wrong, I will be responsible for it, so I have to do it well.
You're aiming at where?
In the middle of 4.5.
I was tasked to set up the door breaching charge today. At that point of time when they gave us the mini strike, it was this igniting device which upon pressing it, it detonates the charges itself, and while given that, I was feeling a bit uncertain.
When I was holding the igniter, I was like wondering how is this thing going to work. I never ignite one before, I never see someone doing it before. I was the first one for the whole week.
Shout ready to ignite.
Ready to ignite! Ready to ignite! Ready to ignite!
Okay, are you ready? Yes, sir. Ignite now.
Ignited! Ignited!
Ooh.
when I clicked it and immediately it just blew up and boom, you know. Everybody was like shocked. It's really, really loud. Even with my earplugs on, I still can hear.
So from what I remember from my training, Claymore mines are not that complicated. They're really easy to actually learn.
I felt great blowing something up today, and I bet the rest of them, they felt great as well.
We even get to experience
Bangalore's
Bangalore torpedo, which Ganesh himself actually get to fire.
Okay, another 41 is actually exclusive for just
Bangalore torpedoes. This is also another weapon that has been around for a long time, at least since World War II. They have probably been updated since then, but their purpose is still the same. It's to clear obstacles, such as barbed wire and mines. You may remember in Saving Private Ryan on the beach landing scene in the beginning, when Tom Hanks and his Rangers actually used the Bangalores to clear some obstacles. It's when they said the line, "Clear the shingles."
a Bangalore torpedo. Okay? It has a 17.5 seconds of delay.
Got 17.5 seconds to run. It's actually an explosive that clears obstacles such as wires and mines for infantry troops to pass through. This is pretty much what I enjoy. I prefer explosives as compared to weapons. However, when I was there and ready to fire the torpedo off, that was when the nervousness kicked in, because 17.5 seconds is all I had before the Bangalore torpedo will actually explode.
Ready to ignite.
Ready to ignite!
Are you ready?
So the first thing that I actually had in mind was to
run.
You have to have faith in your equipment when you do this kind of training. And have faith in the instructors, the safeties, to make sure that you do it correctly. Oof. His adrenaline is flowing.
Okay, okay. Cover.
You get to hear, it's like simultaneous explosive action going on, and it was a very good experience for me.
Going to the range.
Take out firing position.
Once you zero your weapon, it is only zeroed to you and your sight picture, so if your buddy tried to pick it up and fire with it, he would not do well at all. So just like the M16 M4, you adjust your sights up and down and left and right.
And proceed forward.
It's the same or similar with the US military as well, with the M16s, M4s.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 left to up.
Yes, sir.
Take back the stickers.
The important part is that you keep your sight picture the same every single time you fire. Because if you start adjusting your sight picture every time you fire, you're never going to zero your weapon.
Okay, place back the stickers. You remain.
Alright.
My weapon was really good, so more or less the weapon actually gave me an advantage. I don't have much problem. My scope was clear, my weapon was good.
Hey, hit the click.
Sir, I cannot hear the click.
Okay, 4 enough because he turned 2 already.
You say thanks, Turn 2 enough.
Alright, on time, on target. Carry on.
Singapore actually used to use M16s up until, I want to say 1999 maybe, and that's when they actually replaced it with the SAR, or the SAR 21, I'm not sure actually.
Hey! Oh, I cannot.
That's yours.
Nothing.
I
think I got reshoot.
So. Hey! Wow, issue.
Behind.
Here open eh?
Huh?
Here open eh? I got like 4 rounds, but I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 holes.
That means 3 of my bullets went to you lah.
Can you shoot our ball? I got 5 now.
You got, how can I shoot from there to here?
Aim dog cat die.
Impossible lah. How can I? If I let, can lah.
Don't blame the
Don't look at the scope.
Okay, don't blame the dude. Simple. Blame the user. Blame the user.
No, I tell you what, you see, he got 7 on his
I
board.
got 4 bullets. Bro.
No, even then.
I got 5 on mine, so that means you shoot 1 to me, 3 to him.
How can we so far?
How I know what you're doing?
You see, I hold the rifle straight. Okay, the scope, regardless of the scope,
I got straight.
the muzzle is straight one. So how can you fly all the way the other side? Yeah, how to miss everything? Oh my goodness. It's impossible to miss everything. My assistant is actually supposed to zero it more towards the left, but I think he did it the other way. And the next 4 rounds that we shot actually all went off target. Little shock, of course a little embarrassing because I don't think anyone can miss from that distance. It was just about 100 meters. But yeah, the next thing I know, I'm being called Bobo Shooter because they thought I missed all the target totally.
Farers, watch your front. On time, on target, carry on.
So typically, if you're on an M4 range in the US Army, you won't have any of those fancy tools to adjust your sight. Instead, we usually just make do with nails.
Given that currently we're in the training phase, in my opinion, I think it's the only place where you can make mistakes because we're here to learn, we're still under training, so when we go out field next time, when we commission as officers, we're dealing with lives, we're dealing with real people and the real situation, so we cannot afford to have any errors on the field because we're dealing with live weapons, explosives. So for me personally, I think when we're officer cadets, it's fine to make mistakes as long as we learn from it and ensure that it doesn't happen again next time.
So for the US Army, every single time you go to the range, you also have to zero your weapon before you actually try to qualify. I am really enjoying this series so far, and what he said about learning from mistakes is very important. The valuable part about making mistakes is that it allows you to learn, and as long as you don't repeat the same mistakes twice, then that's a good thing. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you do want to check out the basic training series, I'll put it right here. And once this next part is filmed for this series, I'll put it right here. If you do want to help support the channel, I can always use a like, sub, share. Thanks.